Alright, so it's another rendition of how to make every single NBA team not suck. Now, I understand that not every single team in the league actually sucks, but I need a title, so shut up, okay? Now, let us begin with, what the hell is this division called? The Eastern Conference Southeast. Then why the hell are the Wizards in there? Whatever. The Southeast Division of the Eastern Conference, okay? So, let's start with the top seed, the Atlanta Hawks. First off, Mike Budenholzer is basically Jesus, okay? He's a disciple of Greg Popovich, and he has bestowed Popovich's wisdom, but not his assholeness, onto Atlanta, leading them to 60 wins. The Hawks are going to have to re-sign DeMarre Carroll as well as Paul Millsap if they want to keep this going. And then at that point, they're not going to have too much cap space left, but I think they'll have a mid-level left. And I think the one thing they could improve at is the backup center position, so I'd really like them to go for either Brandon Wright or, God forbid, JaVale McGee. Although McGee could actually work because they have, a real close-knit group there. Next, the Washington Wizards. The emergence of Randy Whitman. The guy was inept throughout the regular season, and then in the playoffs, even though he can't figure out how to get the playbook to go the right way, YouTube that if you haven't seen it. He's been good. Like, he puts Paul Pierce at the small ball 4, they take more threes, it opens up the floor for John Wall. If it wasn't for Wall getting injured, they may have beaten Atlanta. So if Whitman keeps this up, keep him. I wouldn't have said that 5 weeks ago, but now, if he's going to keep this up. But if Washington wants to really become a real title contender, they're going to need Bradley Beal to take the next step. Because right now, he's 17, 18 points a game? He has to become... I think Bradley Beal can become the third or fourth best shooting guard in the league. You can't tell me he can't be better than DeMar DeRozan. He has to be better than DeRozan. He's a much better shooter than DeRozan, So, I think Beal has to insert himself as one of the best shooting guards in the league. Besides that, they don't really have any trade pieces unless they want to dangle Nene's expiring contract, which you could get something for, but I'd rather just take the cap release. So, their best bet, honestly, is to just hope Bradley Beal gets better. Actually, they could probably use a shooter off. They really need a scorer off the bench. So you could use a mid-level on maybe Aaron Brooks, Nate Robinson, Marco Bellinelli, J.R. Smith. Not Eric Gordon. He'll go for more than that. There's a couple of names. Rodney Stuckey, Gerald Green, maybe. There's a couple of names they could go for, but really, it's all dependent on Bradley Beal just going that next step. And maybe they can get Kevin Durant. Who knows? Now, the Miami Heat are very interesting. They need Dwyane Wade to come off the bench. Because at this point, Dwyane Wade cannot give you 35 really good minutes. You'd rather just take 28, kind of Manu Ginobili minutes from Wade. So, to replace Wade at the starting two-guard spot, they need a shooter, Miami. They need someone who can just stretch the floor, allow Dragic and Bosh to really be the main points of that offense. So, perhaps you could go with Aaron Aflalo, or problem is they don't have any cap space. But what they do have are some expiring contracts. What Miami needs to try to do is they need to get rid of Mario Chalmers, Chris Anderson, and Luol Deng. And you can make all three of those happen because they're expiring. Teams would be willing to take them on. However, you're probably going to have to dangle some draft picks to do it. But given that it's the Miami Heat and Pat Riley, they don't use their draft picks anyway. So, depending on how many of those expirings they can get out of there, that could free up their cap space. And potentially, the best possible thing for them might be Chris Middleton or Wesley Matthews. But more realistically, I think Danny Green could be an accomplishment for them. Then you can allow Dwyane Wade to come off the bench, and I think they'd be a lot better for it. Now, the Charlotte Hornets. By all accounts, Al Jefferson is staying, which is great. However, these guys are the prime example of why you need shooting in today's NBA. Because they can't shoot, and their offense is... it's really bad, just to put it bluntly. They need a stretch 4. And the Celtics are probably not going to re-sign Jonas Jerebko, so get on that immediately. Besides that, look, shooting is a big deal, so I'm going to keep harping back on the same players. Just guys who can shoot. Allen Anderson, Shved, Gary Neal. just Marcus Thornton, Wayne Ellington. Like, get shooters. That's what Charlotte needs, is just shooters around Al Jefferson. And the Orlando Magic, they should probably go with, like, I guess you could go with Tom Thibodeau as the head coach. Just draft Justice Winslow. Tobias Harris is going to leave. And just let that team just keep getting better. That's it. They got their guys. Peyton, Oladipo, probably Justice Winslow, Aaron Gordon, Vucevic is a beast. And just ride it out. If you wanted to get crazy, they could potentially get in the DeMarcus Cousins sweepstakes if Cousins becomes available from Sacramento. They could offer Vucevic and a pick for DeMarcus Cousins. That's a possibility. Who knows if it actually happens, but that's what I feel about the Southeast Division of the Eastern Conference. How the hell are the Wizards in this division? Washington is not in the whatever. U.S. geography and the NBA, it don't make no damn sense. But that's it. I'm out, y'all. If you have whatever your opinion is about these 5 teams, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, I'm all for it. Let me know in the comments section. And I'm out.